This is Barb Pello, Group Director at InfoTrends, and I'm here with one of the InterACT Platinum sponsors, Gina Testa, Vice President of Graphic Communications Industries at Xerox. And we've got a few questions we'd like to ask Gina relative to her views on where the market is going and how print is truly becoming interactive. Gina, I'd like to start with how you see the print medium evolving over the next several years.
Oh, Barb, thank you very much, and hello to everyone. At Xerox, what we really believe is the print medium is going to remain an integral part of a marketing campaign. However, the campaigns are going to more and more take on a truly multi-medium footprint. So in other words, print as part of a mix of both tele, will become very, very powerful in the future. And of course, there are many studies, many experiments, and frankly, many campaigns that we ourselves at Xerox do for our own customers that truly prove that out to be true.
Well, thanks, Gina. Now, I know that Xerox does a tremendous amount of work on the business development side of it. How is your company enabling your customers to provide the next generation of marketing services?
You know, Barb, at Xerox, what we have is a very powerful value proposition that we work with customers on every day. Of course, it starts out with the table stakes, which we believe is benchmark technology. But that's almost becoming the fact that, of course, you need to have that to enter the market and be considered. We also have invested a significant amount of money on workflow so that we can truly automate the connection from the end user or the client up in marketing all the way through to their customer at the other end point, flowing through potentially the ad agency and the printer in the interim. So I think that is the future. In the future, it'll be almost touchless from one end to the other. I think that would be pretty much the nirvana state. So we've invested significantly in workflow and will continue to do so. And then third, it's what you just mentioned, and that is a 10-year history now in investing in true business development strategies, tools, programs to help our customers really become able to do all of this on their own. And our tools are kind of a do-it-yourself model. In one aspect, we call that Profit Accelerator, which we provide tools from a sales and marketing perspective, an operational perspective, and really helping them get into advanced applications such as one-to-one that you hear about or web-to-print. We also have a model where we actually provide professional services to our clients, so that if they really don't have a marketing person on staff, they can actually access a variable workforce is what we call it, or professionals who can come in and actually help write that marketing plan, host that open house, develop the application for their customer, set up their web-to-print system, whatever it is that the customer needs. We also actually have a project that we've been doing now for several years. We call it our one-to-one lab. They're virtual labs, but they actually exist around the world where a print customer will actually bring in one of their end-user corporate customers, and together with Xerox, we will bring the creative together with the database mining and functionality together with the software and the print to actually do a true statistically valid test, A/B test, where we will take a population of their communications campaign and actually create a variable campaign. And then what we'll do is actually measure, and show them after the fact the difference in results. And these labs have been absolutely tremendous with really, really big names, big brand names that we've advertised. The most recent one that we competed with our graphic arts customer, Budco, and the client that we actually did business with, Ford Motor Company. And the results were published in the U.S. Postal Service's Connect magazine, but in many other things. And so that's a phenomenal success story. I'd love people to see it. And, of course, the last thing I would say that we do, if I really rounded it out, is we really participate on the boards of many associations. The Direct Marketing Association, we always have had a presence there, at least for the last 10 years, where we showcase some of our best clients. And, of course, we're one of the founding members of the Print Council. And one of the initiatives that we have there is actually a research area that's actually housed at RIT at the Sloan Foundation. And we actually vet all of the current research as it relates to the ROI of print as part of a multimedia mix.
That's great.
We call that print in the mix. Mm-hmm.
That's great, Gina. Now, we also hear a lot about walking the talk. How is Xerox using print and mobile, social, and web mediums to market your products and engage with people?
Barbara, that's a great question, and actually a couple articles have just gotten written about Xerox and how forward we've been, especially in the social media mix. It's kind of exciting, but both in the division, the GC division that I work in, we literally have a dedicated person who manages our social media presence. Lindsay Lamb, actually, we work on our website, of course. We have several blogs, I think in excess of 15 of them that we manage ourselves. We have presence on Twitter. We use that to get out and reach out to our constituencies. We have a Xerox Facebook page, but then several of us as executives also have our own Facebook pages. And, of course, we have a lot of videos that we actually put out there on YouTube. All of these mediums we sometimes connect people to or hook them up when we do email campaigns. And then, of course, we do a lot of multimedia campaigns where it's we use our XMPie technology, of course, as a showcase, but we do there's a print component, a phone follow-up, and then, of course, a repeat depending on the response levels that we've gotten. And that has been incredibly successful. So successful that actually one of the tools inside Profit Accelerator, we call it the Open Kit, we actually share with our customers the results and how we structured many of these communication campaigns. And they can see kind of the part of the printed piece. We show them how we actually constructed the workflow, and then we talk about the response rates that we were able to receive. And therefore, if someone's new at offering a campaign like this, they could actually use one of our campaigns as an example. And that's also where the one-to-one lab also does come into play.
That's great. Now, let me ask one other question on the technology side. How is Xerox's technology driving that customer engagement across multiple channels?
I think that's where the workflow and the software comes into play. XMPie, of course, is a prime example of that. When you do one of those integrated campaigns and you get your automated personal URL, of course, the email blasts, et cetera. And now, of course, we've actually launched personalized videos that you could actually engage in. And, of course, it also helps with the printed piece. From an office standpoint, we're really getting into the whole mobile world. We're using QR codes. So we're actually trying to experiment and utilize a lot of these technologies in the way Xerox goes to market, how we work every day in our offices, but also now taking these to market with our end user clients.
And one last question about XMPie. Could you take us through just a couple of brief examples where XMPie is enabling personalization beyond print?
Yes. Well, I don't know that I have a definite client in mind, but one of the things that we constantly do at this point is several of our campaigns don't involve print necessarily. And that's what a lot of our clients are doing. We actually started up a campaign to get people to attend one of our we call them Real Business Live events in the field. We had a big event in the field, and we actually created a viral video through the XMPie software where you could actually create a personalized video. The premise was it was a newscaster, and the newscaster was talking about how overworked the typical office worker is today. And, of course, it was very humorous. We used a lot of humor. But the name of the individual that received this video appeared at various moments during this scenario of a crazy business day. And then what it did is it prompted you to obviously participate in the event, but then forward the video to someone you knew, friends, et cetera. And because it was funny, it almost took a life on of its own. And we got tens of thousands of hits because of this, where it just spread virally throughout the network, our customer base. And that was not really affiliated with print. What it did, we used that social medium along with that personalization to acquire people to an event. It was very, very effective. And again, print was not part of that component. When they got to the event, they received some materials, et cetera. But as far as the acquisition and the communications campaign went, print was not used at all. So it can go either way depending on what you're trying to achieve and how you're going to use the technology.
Well, that's great, Gina. I'd really like to thank you for your time today and look forward to, again, sharing all this information at InterACT.
Thanks, Barb. Can't wait for the event.